Hello everyone, hi. Welcome to the Butterfly Effect podcast. And today I would like to discuss with you a pretty philosophical topic, which sounds like you decide who you are. What do I mean by that? Well, let's start with the very basics. On the sessions with my clients, what I often hear on the first session when I ask people to represent themselves and just tell me a little bit of the context of their life for me to understand it better, I hear very often phrases like, I am very unconfident, or I have lots of fears, or I feel like I have so many blocks that stops me from living the life I want to live, or I attract abusive people, or I feel like I'm not doing what I possibly can do. I'm not realizing my highest potential. All of the things make sense to those people because they know themselves. But for me, as I'm hearing this like from the side, my job is to question everything. Like why you decided that you unworthy of love, of a great healthy relationship, of compassion, why you decided that you are weak, why you decided that you are not able to realize your highest potential, why you decided this and that. Because, well, I truly believe that everything that we know about ourselves, it's basically just our perception. And perception is what? It's a choice. So what is basically perception? Is that if I have lots of fears inside me, I will see this world as a very dangerous. If the topic of politics, for example, is very important for me, I will see this world as highly political. If a topic of inclusivity is important for me, I will see this world as very inclusive or inclusive. If I went to astrologist and astrologist told me that I will get hit by the red car in the next months, what I'm gonna do the next months? I'm gonna check every red car around me, and I'll be super careful and super attentive, be near every and each red car in the city. You know where I'm going to, right? So our perception is basically just a number of choices that we made in order to decide and specify how we're gonna see this world, how we're gonna treat this world around us and ourselves in this world. The craziest part is that when we decide, when we choose to perceive ourselves in a certain way, we do this for a reason. For example, I say that I'm a very gentle and caring and nice person, and mostly for some reason I meet people who hurt me, but still in every relationship I'm doing my best. I'm giving my whole heart and soul because I'm such a nice and loving and caring and gentle person, and I would never can hurt anyone. Why I'm doing this is because I'm choosing to see myself in a way. I could say, in other words, that I can't protect myself, that I have no boundaries, that the lack of boundaries attracts people who treat me not in the way that I would love to be treated. And just to justify all of this for myself, I would call myself a nice and gentle and loving person that for some magical reasons just attracts not the best people. Many people also believe that if they'll pursue themselves in some specific way, the world will be better for them, because the world is fair and it gives the best to best people, to good people. That's why being a good person is so important. That's why we were taught that we have to be good people. That's why for so many clients that I have, being a good person, it's one of the most important things that they do. They constantly doing things that they don't want to for others, because if they won't be a good person anymore. It's not easy to accept, but the world is not fair. And people are not good. They're not bad either. They're just the way they are. Same as the world. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just the way it is. And once we get it, there is no expectations to be a good person. There is no fear to be a bad person anymore. There's just a desire to be exactly who you are. But the complicated part about all of this is that when we live with all these concepts that we're creating about ourselves, with all this vision that we chose to have, with all this perception that we chose to have, and at some point it's really hard to understand who I really am. What is the true me? Am I a victim? Am I a winner? Am I good? Am I bad? Am I a great daughter? Am I a good wife? Am I a nice person? Partially because we do really want to put a label and name on everything. That's historical. That's something that people do, and that's something that we really want to do just to feel more comfortable, more confident, like we understood something. Because if I can name it, if I can put a label on it, it means that it exists. It means that I'm safe. It means that I know what's going on. When we decide something about ourselves, and we decide to use it as a part of our personality, and we decide to show it to the world reflects. If I decided that I want to suffer, that I'm a victim, that people around me are treating me bad, that everyone is using me, abusing me, the world will reflect it, because I will actively search for proofs of these ideas. Same as with the red car. That's where my focus in. That's what my focus on, and that's exactly what I'm gonna see. If I decide that the world is a safe place, that I'm the part of something bigger, that I'm a part of the world itself, and if the world is not good and not bad, it's just the way it is, so is I. I'm not good, I'm not bad, I'm just the way I am. That's the road to acceptance. Acceptance, first of all, of myself, and then the whole world. And each and every person in this world is a part of the world. That's what makes this conversation really philosophical. So what to do with this? Can I just magically one day decide that I'm confident, beautiful, creative, artistic, rich and famous and attractive and everything? Can I just decide and switch? No. There is no magic pill. What can I do? And you can do as well. First of all, you can consciously see and check what's your perception about yourself and the world. You can even write it down, because when you will start to try to catch these things consciously, you will hear that, for example, when you talk about something, you will say, oh, I'm like this, and those people are different. That's a perception. Oh, the situation happens again because it's so unfair. That's a perception. I got hurt because I'm choosing wrong people. That's a perception. I'm always giving more than I'm receiving. That's a perception. So start to collect all those things and consciously look at them from the position of, does this perception serve you or not? Some of these things kind of make sense for us and help us to live, especially in the surviving mode. Most of them exist to protect us. But from some of them, we grew out of those perceptions, like out of the old pants. We changed, our life changed, but we're still driven by old perceptions, same as old values, for example. So what we can do is that we can reinvestigate what's going on in our head at the moment, find those perceptions of ourselves and the world that doesn't serve us anymore, and work on them. How do we work on them? Is that, first of all, put the focus of your attention on them. That's a step number one, and that's a crucial step, because once you consciously put your attention on this perception, it can even vanish. Some of these things are living in our head just because we don't really put our attention there. Like an old garage, when we have lots of old stuff that we would never really use, but it's still there because we never really went through this stuff to throw it away. Step number 2 is try to remember when this perception was born. What was the age when you first start to use this perception to describe yourself or the world? And what exact situation caused this perception to be born? We need to go back in time a little bit and see the situation. And also at least consciously look at this and understand why this perception was born. Because as I said, most of them still live and still exist in our head just because once they were really helpful and really useful. For example, perception that all of the strangers are dangerous, right? That's something that we all are taught when we were kids, and that's something that we grow up with. But most of the people, when they grow up, they kind of, change this perception into like there is dangerous people and that's how they look, and there's all other people that are still strangers to me, but they're not dangerous, they're just strangers. That's a different thing. But some people actually, they still operate with the same thing, that any stranger is dangerous, especially if some event happened in their childhood that caused this perception to be born, that strangers are dangerous. Those people can go to very extreme stuff, as for example, to close themselves in their homes, to be absolutely not social, to keep their close circle like really, really close and really, really closed. So with this perception, what we do, we go back into the situation and we consciously put our focus there to understand that we are not there anymore. Whatever we were protecting ourselves from doesn't exist anymore. We don't have to keep protecting ourselves. There is no danger. And the most important part is that if there is a danger, I can handle it. Because instruments that kids use and adults use are different. So whatever I was using as a child, for example, this perception that strangers are dangerous, I don't need anymore because I have other options, I have other instruments, I have other things that I can use to protect myself from dangerous people. And step number 3 is crucial, because we don't really want only to get rid of those things that doesn't serve us anymore as perceptions that limit us, that block us, that stop us from whatever we want to do, but we want also to develop something new, something that will help us. So for that, I would ask you to project and kind of jump into your future a little bit. Whatever you're dreaming about, whatever you really want to do, either it's like having a family or building your own business or travel around the world or just live happy, comfortable, conscious life, being exactly where you are right now. Imagine yourself there. Imagine yourself dreaming, imagine yourself living your dream life and think about it. Just try to see yourself living this dream life and try to imagine what when you're living this dream life, what do you think about yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you see the world? What's your perception? Try to see what differentiates you right now from you in the future, living your dream life. What kind of limiting beliefs, what kind of perceptions, what kind of vision is different? Because that's exactly what you will have to develop, consciously develop. For example, in my future dream life, I'm having my own multi-million business with a team of people who's like-minded, with international branches, with lots of people who's getting lots of value from whatever I'm creating. And there, me in the future, she's confident. She believes in herself so much that whatever challenges she's facing, she can go through it. Not easily, but she can go through it because she knows she's capable, because she knows that she, for example, is supported by a loving family, that she supported by her experience and her knowledge, that she's supported by her community. So the things that, for example, differentiates me at the moment and me in my future vision is basically I don't have this belief in myself at the moment. And I can say about this honestly because that's something that I'm rebuilding at the moment. Belief in myself. That step, that I paid a big price to be at the point where I'm developing belief in myself. Because I worked through not enoughness, neglect. I worked through self-hate. I worked through the place of being absolutely lost, a place of being absolutely not valuable for myself. So all of these things already done. And now I'm facing the challenge of developing self-belief, which is, well, not easy. It just takes time. So that's something that's a perception. I can see myself as a person who believes in myself. It takes time to develop. How will I develop it? Step number 1 and step number 2. In the end of this video, what I want to say is that it's important to know that we choose who we want to be. We choose how we want to see ourselves. We choose if we are victims and life is cruel to us, or we are the winners and we decide what's going to happen with us in this world. We choose what kind of people will surround us. We choose how to see those people. And the world around us will reflect our choices, our vision, and our perception. So everything starts from inside. And whatever is going on inside of you, that's something that you can actually affect. So put your focus of attention, put your effort, put your thoughts into this part, to what's going on inside of your head, inside of your mindset, and reorganize those shelves in your basement, reorganize those shelves in your garage. It's time to make an overall revision throughout the stuff that you've been keeping and collecting for years that doesn't serve you anymore. Those perceptions that were limiting you, that were stopping you from being who you want to be, or developing things that you really need to develop to be where you want to be. It's time to do that. Use 1, 2, 3 steps to do that, and follow for more. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I wish you a great day, a great week, and I see you soon.